Hello, my name is Tyler Smith, and I'm the Senior Director of Government Relations at PAEA. As part of our grassroots advocacy activities, we often hear the question from students and faculty, what are the most effective ways for me to make my voice heard with my elected representatives? During the course of this video, I'll be counting down the top 5 ways for you to make an impact on policy issues that are important to you. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Kicking it off with number 5, we have form messages. These are pre-prepared communications such as those provided by PAEA through our Grassroots Action Network that allow you to quickly send a message to your elected officials via an online platform. One of the most important advantages of this option is really its ease. In just a few seconds, you can engage with your elected representatives, echoing a unified message that's been prepared by our association or another stakeholder and has been provided to other grassroots advocates. Another pro of this approach is that if enough advocates engage, offices will often take notice of the volume of messages that they're receiving on a specific policy issue, increasing the likelihood that action will be taken. While form messages are valuable, there are a few drawbacks that I wanted to note. So, for example, not customizing a message limits the ability of offices to understand the full impact of a policy issue on you and your community, and really the reason why they should take action. Also, when messages aren't personalized, they may not be as closely read by congressional offices, thereby further limiting their impact. Number 4 on our list is supporting the lobbying of your professional organizations by joining as a member and or contributing to political action committees if your organization facilitates one. Professional organizations like PAEA, AAPA, and their associated state chapters all employ in-house lobbyists. And in some of these organizations, membership dues determine the scale of government relations activities and what the organizations are able to achieve from a lobbying perspective. Some of the benefits of joining your professional organizations and supporting their lobbying efforts include ensuring continuous representation of your interests before policymakers. Critically, lobbyists also have professional training that equips us to navigate Congress and state legislatures in a way that grassroots advocates may have a more difficult time doing, just given limited experience. There are also a few cons of this approach, including the fact that elected representatives are ultimately accountable to constituents rather than lobbyists. Further, grassroots advocates are often better equipped to convey the impact of policy decisions on their day-to-day lives than lobbyists are, making it critical to also engage in direct advocacy options beyond just supporting the activities of professional lobbyists. Number 3 on our list is publishing an op-ed or letter to the editor in a local publication. This approach allows advocates to provide a public, detailed explanation of why an issue is important and why an elected representative should support their position. Another value of this approach is that it's typically not too difficult to get published depending upon the particular publication, as many newspapers and online venues often look to highlight voices from their community as part of their publication. One drawback to this approach is that it may be easier for an elected official to not see an editorial compared to a direct communication, as some of the other options I've described are. Also, by not engaging in direct communication, there may not be an opportunity for relationship building by using this approach, which is really critical when attempting to advance a policy objective and really set the stage for future progress on other policy aims. Number 2 on our list is individualized or personalized messages. So these can either be personalized form messages through a platform like the Grassroots Action Network, direct emails to legislative staff, or letters sent to the offices of your elected representatives that are personalized and run by you. Taking the time to customize your messages has a number of advantages from an advocacy perspective. Most importantly, personalized messages are more likely to be read and responded to when compared to form messages, and can often be more compelling when you share your perspective on how a policy issue would impact your day-to-day life. While personalized messages are valuable, there are some cons that I want to note. Customizing a message can take more time and effort compared to just sending a form message, and unlike some of the other options, also may not facilitate an ongoing conversation in relationship with your intended target. Finally, our number one most effective advocacy strategy is a live meeting. These can be conducted either in person or virtually via video or phone. And live meetings have consistently been demonstrated to have the greatest impact in advancing policy aims and in facilitating ongoing relationships with the offices of elected officials. They guarantee that your representative and or their staff will listen to your perspective, and they also provide a great opportunity to cultivate a long-term relationship for you as a trusted resource to the office. Some of the cons of this approach include that it often requires significant preparation work in terms of pre-research and looking into the interests of your representative. And in most instances, advocates will engage in dedicated training as to best practices prior to conducting their first live meeting. Additionally, a meeting doesn't guarantee that an office will act upon your request, so frequent follow-up is often required to have the greatest impact. If you're interested in learning more about any of these strategies, I wanted to conclude by offering a few resources to you. PAEA's Grassroots Action Network, which is available on our website, provides a one-stop shop for you to engage in advocacy campaigns and to stay apprised of our policy developments through the monthly updates that we publish. Our Grassroots Advocacy Resource Guide, which is included as part of this curriculum, provides in-depth instructions on how to engage in these activities, as well as other impactful strategies that you might consider. Finally, our government relations staff is always happy to answer questions you may have on grassroots advocacy, as well as ways to effectively engage in the political process. Should you have any questions, my email can be found on this slide. It's tsmith@paeaonline.org. Thank you, and we hope to have you join us on your advocacy journey.